Hey, what up, family? This is Todd from No Picks Podcast.
What's good, family? Joe checking in, No Fix Podcast.
All right, so check this out. Today, we're going to talk about T.I. and his son, King. All right, so the topic of today is basically why do we, as black people, value a certain lifestyle? So we're going to play this video
Okay.
and we're going to have a conversation about it.
All right.
All right?
Capping, nigga. You capping. You capping. You upset. You're mad. You capping. You capping. I know you. 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 I know you though. I know you though. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself and your family, nigga. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself.
Man, what is you talking about? Get out of me, nigga. Man, get out of me, nigga.
Well, you can't do nothing with me. Shit you can do with me.
Okay. All right. So that was kind of hard to follow, right? So I'm gonna just give a little bit of context, right? So basically, as T.I. and his son King, T.I. was trying to explain to King that, King was trying to explain to T.I. that, you know, even though he's a suburban kid and, you know, he's from a gated community, that, you know, he's still a gangster in his own way. And T.I. was basically saying, hey, you know what? You're not gangster at all. You're from money. You're from privilege. So that was basically the start of the confrontation. And his son was trying to show how gangster he was by trying to stand up to his dad. So my question to you, Joe, is why is it that regardless of your economical circumstances in our community, why is it so valued to be from the hood and gangster and quote unquote stand on business?
Oh man, I'm not gonna say it started with hip hop culture because it was also a lot of it in film too. But I do know that a lot of the influence came from, I think, hip hop culture, bro. I think when this hip hop shit really started taking off, and granted, it didn't start like this. It didn't start like this. Hip hop was very conscious when it first started, you know what I mean? And there was so many different influences and so many different eclectic styles. Like, I think things became more cookie cutter later on, you know, but I think a lot of it was the gangster rap, you know, the fact that, oh man, it's a hard question to answer, bro. But I think a lot of it comes from our hip hop influence, bro. A lot of the music that we consume now, it's about drugs, about killing, about, you know, running through women and just partying, kind of
Right.
either YOLO or just flexing or look at my
Right.
drip. You know what I mean? That's what it's about now. It's just niggas rapping about all the money they have and the drugs that they sell and the people that
Right.
they kill. So I'll start there and say I think a lot of it comes from this hip hop culture, the culture of
Right.
hip hop, unfortunately. And I don't know why it's glorified, but it is. And we talked about this before, but like prison for some is like a rite of passage. Like you
Yeah.
come out of jail and like it's like a badge of honor. Like, yeah, I did
Yeah.
some time. I did this. I did a bit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or people, and I, I don't know, bro. It's a really difficult question to answer, but the problem is definitely there. It's definitely there. Why we
Right.
glorify ratchet behavior. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think of it. Yeah, I'll start there. Where do you think it comes from?
I think in this situation, when I think of it, I think it's like it has a couple different layers, right? So for one, I think that, you know, when you're a child of when you're a child of someone of success, right? You want to branch off and have your own identity, right? Um, and you know, T.I. is one of them OGs in rap, right? He's like, I mean, it's like no matter what you do for the most part, you're gonna be in his shadow as his child, right? Just like Jordan and like no matter what his kids ever would have done, they would have been in his shadow. Like LeBron, I think being LeBron's kid is a tough thing, is a tough pill to swallow. Even though they're still doing their thing, but it's fair to say that they're not going to be. I mean, some people regard LeBron as the best player or the second best player in the league. I mean, ever in the NBA, right? So it's fair to say that no matter what his kids ever do, they probably won't be the first or the second or the third ever to play basketball. So like you're in the shadow of a giant, right?
Right.
And so I think that plays a part. That plays a part on a young man's psyche. I don't think it matters so much to women, but to men, you wanna your dad as a boy, your dad is your measuring stick. Your dad is like, oh, okay, cool. Can I be tougher than my dad, or can I be better than my dad in some way? And I don't think you do it to compete against your dad. Your dad is just the starting point, because that's what the first masculine figure that you see.
Right.
So like I understand where King is, kind of be like, well, I want to be like, because his dad's whole thing is like, I mean, moving weight in Atlanta, right? Hey, I was a big time drug dealer in Atlanta. That I became a rapper and I became wildly successful. That's most of that's his music, right? I was a huge T.I. fan, so I know for sure. I still am a huge T.I. fan. But I think he looks crazy because he looks a little ridiculous. At the bottom line is you're not T.I. You don't live T.I. like T.I.'s dad wasn't a multi-millionaire rapper. He wasn't a super famous dude. He wasn't. I mean, he just was what he was, and the odds are you'll never be able to achieve what T.I. achieved. So you just
yeah.
A lot of people would love to live in your kind of situation. Just be from privilege.
Yes.
Live in a gated community.
Right.
Eat.
Private school if you want.
You don't have to eat beefaroni. You don't have to eat fucking oodles and noodles. You don't got to eat boiled eggs if you don't want. You got a private chef. You can go to your private chef at 11:52 at night and say, "Hey, listen, private chef, I would like a freshly made toaster strudel from scratch." You have that privilege. Most 99.999% of the world doesn't have that privilege. Not even the black world, the world period. They don't have that privilege. So you look like just a spoiled little fucking brat, crying and trying to be cool.
Right.
And nobody respects it. Nobody, niggas in the hood ain't looking at you as like, damn, this nigga super gangster. They looked at your dad as he's super gangster. They don't look at your dad like that anymore because your dad's rich.
Right.
It's too late for your dad. Just like, like you have your time to like.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that our community values that so much. Even the rich kids want to be so gangster and poor so bad.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It is sad, and I'm thinking about it more. I'm trying to formulate my thought more about like where the issue comes from, and I said that a big part of it is hip hop culture, of course. But we see it in different ways too, Ty, because we've talked about it. We talked about education being frowned upon. Like if you're smart before you were a lame or you were a cornball, like people were clowned. Like it took, I forget who it was. Was it Kid Cudi or somebody else that was just like, no. It was the boy that played in Get Out. I can't remember his name. He was
Black dude?
Yeah, where he was just like, it's okay to be smart. He was like, black children, black boys, it is okay to be smart. Black girls, it is okay to be smart. Like it's not something to be, it's lame. It's okay to be, you know what I mean? Like he was just saying it, and it's just like that's real. If you're smart, that's amazing. We should lift that up. We should praise that. We should endorse it. And if it ain't for you, that's fine. But like, don't knock it. Don't make it lame or you know what I mean? Like, and we've seen that where education is frowned upon. Or if you were trying to articulate yourself, we got this a lot growing up. Oh, why are you talking white? You mean I have an expansive vocabulary and I'm able to articulate my thoughts? You know what I mean? Like clearly, like I can code switch. I know when to use the vernacular and when to be more formal. Like you know what I mean? Like why is that? Why are we associating that with like something that's white or something that's corny or lame? You know what I mean? So that's a part of it too, bro. It's like Chris Rock I keep quoting Chris Rock because he's one of my favorite comedians, bro. But he has that skit where he's like, niggas will be hype as shit about not knowing nothing. They love being ignorant. He talks about how like black people love being ignorant, and like it's like a badge of honor when they don't know some shit. And I'm just like, I don't get it. He was like, if you ever want to like hide something, hide it in the book because niggas hate reading. You know what I mean? And he was going in on it like that. Like there's a certain demographic of our culture where it's frowned upon, bro. But it's the same people who are probably have the same mentality as King, where they love the streets, they love the ratchet shit. You know what I mean? Like we've seen it, bro. It's a part of the culture, and it's not the whole culture, but it's a part of it, and it's a growing part of it. But you're right. Even wealthy black people want to still do hood shit. That I don't understand. Right now, we got Young Thug in court facing time. I'm like, bro, you are a multi-millionaire. You have generational wealth that you can pass on to your kids, to your family. You are set for life with everything that you have accomplished. Why are niggas still racketeering? Now, the case ain't over yet, but I'm just saying, why y'all still out there doing hood shit? Why y'all still in the trap? Why y'all still moving with weight and guns? Why y'all still doing all the, and it's just like, oh, because this is how I was raised, or this is what got me here. Okay, but you're not there anymore. Y'all niggas is wealthy. And you see these people, even you can get out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the artist because these rappers blow up, get bread, and where you see them at? In the hood. Look at Gilly's kid. Rest in peace. No shade, of course, at all. Rest in peace, Gilly. I love y'all podcast. I love what you're doing. But like his kid was gunned down in Olney somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm like, bro, why y'all still out there in the hood like it's sweet? First of
Yeah.
all, your family comes from money, and you're always gonna be a target because y'all was big rappers. You know what I mean? So like, why are y'all out there? Why y'all out in the streets? I don't get it. Jason Morant, right?
John Morant. Yeah.
John Morant playing ball at the elitist level possible. Get bread coming in, contracts. You know what I mean? Like you have an
$200
opportunity
million contract.
set up for your life.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You see, it's like this mentality where like it's like a gift and a curse with our community, bro. Because we have Riz, soul, charisma. We got the swag, we got the drip, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like I said, people want hip hop culture, whatever is cool. Like hip hop became cool, it became something we exported globally. You know what I mean? Everybody want to be a hip hop artist, so they love hip hop artists. Like they love black culture and they associate it with all these things, like our rhythm. You know what I mean? Everything that we do. It's like we have all of that, but the problem is there's we've made it so cool to be black that now people want to be black even if it's the negative shit. You know what I mean? Even if it's the bad stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got people who aren't like sagging pants and promoting shooting. It's I don't know, bro. It's a mind twist. It definitely is when I think about it, man. I can't exactly say where it comes from, but it's here, bro, and it exists. And it's sad. And King, what I saw was a lack of humility. And you were
Right.
talking about him maybe being jealous of being in his father's shadow, or envious, or you know, that could be part of it for sure. I think it's for what I see though for sure is like a complete lack of humility. Like you have the position in your life because of your father and everything that he did. How dare you? How dare you? And the thing is, his dad gripped him up now, but as we know that his dad had a different standard for his son than he did for his daughter. And we know this because he said things on the record about the way that he raises them both very differently. And I think that he should have gripped them up when he was younger. You gripping him up now, but that's because you didn't instill that fear and knock some sense into him when he was younger. I'm assuming, bro. I'm assuming. If you're gripping him up now, where was you at when he was like 5 or 6 or 4? Was you gripping him up then, or was you letting him do whatever he wanted to do? Because he said he spent a lot of his time at his grandmother's house. His grandma and Nana was letting him do whatever he wanted.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just like you created this person, Ti. Like you are the dad. What were you doing? Were you just not home because you was torn, and then it was left to, your wife and your wife? Listen, I don't know, bro, but I know that he is a product of that household. So it looks bad on that entire family, bro. It looks bad on that family.
Isn't it a weird dynamic? Like you become successful, right? And you become successful. You make it through the trenches. You do X, Y, and Z. You see all the the valleys, and then you become successful. So then you see all the peaks. But
Right.
all your kids know are the peaks.
Right.
They don't know so T.I. has a basis of like, hey, you know what? Like he's grounded. You know what I mean? Because he knows like what being coming from nothing feels like.
Right.
His kids don't know that. So it's like it's a weird side effect of success because like I've seen it, and all the others. It's like your kids become like, since they've never experienced, having to eat, Captain Crunch with fucking berries in it. What's the Captain Crunch with berries for dinner? Your kids haven't experienced that,
right?
So they have no fucking idea what it took for you to become who you are.
Right, bro.
And they don't appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like you use like I don't know.
You gotta make them, bro. You gotta make them. You have to raise them.
Like, listen,
you have to raise them like
there's
that.
no way that you can simulate that real life experience when you already have money. Like, what are you going to do? Like, it's like take you and I, for example. Take you. You and Kara. Say, yo, listen. Kira's still young, so she I mean, whatever. But say you get $100 million tomorrow. You hit the fucking lottery. You get $100 million. Kira will never know what it's like to be you. And you can't simulate that. You could send her to her cousin's house. You could say she could just gonna call her phone. Hey, Dad, come get me. I don't like that. You gonna fucking come get her. You mean like you like, so like you feel like you can't fake it.
You can't, bro. But through all that,
the danger is real. Like because on
right.
T.I.'s end, the danger is real.
It is.
But on his son's end, the danger isn't real. If T.I. if his son complains enough, somebody's gonna come save this kid from this situation.
Right. Right.
So the danger isn't the danger. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's
No, I know exactly what you're saying, but
can't simulate
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you can't simulate. But through all those experiences that Ti had, you get wisdom. He has years of experience and wisdom. He knows what it's like. And if you're not passing that wisdom down to your kids, what are you doing?
But how can
What are
you?
you doing?
You can't speak it in that way. So the reason that
Well,
T.I. resonated with hood motherfuckers, people from the hood, with nothing, is because we lived it too.
right.
So I'm a kid. I'm listening. I got nothing. I hear T.I. talking about some motivation. Nigga, get on your job, nigga. Now I'm sitting there like, yo, I'm in my fucking grandma's house like motivation. Nigga, get. So I'm feeling
Right.
it. I feel what the fuck he coming from. He from nothing. He's speaking to my existence.
Right.
What the fucking T.I. son say to me? He don't know what the fuck what it's like to have to have to get motivation, nigga. You didn't need motivation. You woke up in the morning to creme brulee and fucking
Right.
freshly hand squeezed orange juice from the mountains of like I don't know like
No, that's real. That's and it's the problem that comes with wealth, bro. And I think this Ti issue, of course, they have issues with their family. They have lots of issues. But this it's very telling. But you definitely got it right when you said this is one of the problems that can come with wealth. And I think that other people have this problem too. If you have so much money, like think about it, you want your kids' lives to be easy. You do.
right.
If I get that rich, bro, Kira's life is gonna be easy mode.
Automatically, she'll have the best of
And you know,
everything.
all
She'll
four
get
years
the
of
best
college is
food.
already going to be paid for in advance. She gonna have like a CD
Right.
or something that's just getting interest every year in the bank, just collecting that you can get at 18. You know what I mean? Like
She'll
her,
never have to worry about money again.
right? But you
That
got.
fear of not having money motivates motherfuckers to be different.
I know, bro. But you got to teach your kids. You have to teach your kids somehow, bro. Like if I knew that if food insecurity was something I had to deal with growing up at times, it's like that's why even now, like I tell Kira, do not waste food. There are ways that you can teach somebody. Like, listen, I ain't had this growing up. I ain't had an option to do this, that, and the third. If this was dinner and I wanted something else, I didn't have an option to change this and this and that. We didn't do Mickey D's as much or like that. Like we didn't order, you know what I mean? We didn't do this growing up. So you eat all your damn food. Don't you know what I mean? Or don't be wasteful with the money that I'm
Right.
spending on you. Like there are ways to kind of instill certain values in your kids, bro, and you have to because otherwise this is what will happen. Like once you become wealthy, you got to think, yo, my kids are gonna be so privileged now, and they're not gonna know the struggle that I know and it's made me a better person, but they don't have that. So how do I make sure to keep them humble? How do I make sure to keep them, keep perspective with them? Make sure that they're not just fucking assholes and douchebags, like, or super super superficial. You know what I mean? Like it's we ain't got those problems right now,
No,
bro.
we ain't
That's
got
for
no
sure. I
problems
guess
right now.
those rich people, bro, we ain't got those problems. I welcome those problems. If y'all want to, if the universe wants to give me millions, I welcome them. I'll navigate those, with the millions.
There was
But I
a
mean,
millionaire dude that or maybe it was a bit. It was some dude that there's a quote that I read. He was like, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was a black dude, white dude, Asian dude, whatever. But he was rich, right? He was a millionaire
yeah,
dude. He was like, I'm gonna be a millionaire, right? He was like, I'm wealthy. The generation under me is gonna be wealthy. He said
right.
the generation under me might be wealthy, but the generation after that will be poor because the other two generations will squander it because they don't have any appreciation of the money that I've built.
Ah,
So he was like, and then he's like, basically, my family will then have to start over and then have to try to build up wealth again because they'll be poor because they'll squander and they won't appreciate it. So it's just a plight of what that
yeah,
it's just a curse of what that is. It's like, it's wealth is one of them things where, you know what I mean? I guess it's not meant to last because like the people who
right,
built it, they appreciate it. They know if we become millionaires, say let's just say from this podcast, we become millionaires from this podcast. We know what the fuck we did to make this shit happen. So we will
right,
value this shit. Well, if we on some kind of private jet somewhere, listen, we're gonna eat all that fucking lamb. We're gonna eat all that shit. We're gonna be like, yo, you know
right,
what? Thank you, private jet man. shake his hand. We're gonna go somewhere else or whatever,
Right.
and we're gonna have an appreciation of it. But our
Right.
children,
They don't know that.
we gonna give them same benefits because we love them and we want them to experience life. We want them on a pink sand. We want them. You know what I mean? We want them jet skiing off the coast of San Tropez, right? But they just might not appreciate the shit, and that's just what goes with it. And obviously, T.I.'s son don't appreciate the shit. He don't know he don't he knows what it takes to do it, right? Because he's old enough to understand it. But he don't really know that his dad went hungry some nights. He don't know that his dad ate sunflower seeds some nights. He don't know that. He don't because he's never had to do it. But
Or
he wants to
spending time in a
pretend.
jail cell,
Right,
or you know what I mean, doing hard time, or
right.
he don't, and it's sad, bro. It's so so their problem is that they're so wealthy, but then it comes back to that. So there's that problem, and then there's that hood culture. It's that I'm just saying it's a hood mentality, and even if you leave that hood, that mentality is still there, and
Still
some people
there.
just don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
They can't let it
It's
go.
very valuable to us for some reason as a people. I don't
Yeah,
get it, but it's very valuable to us. We care about it a lot.
I hate to hear it, bro. I'm telling you, these rappers and these athletes who get involved in stupid shit and or get pulled over with guns and then are arrested. And I'm like, bro, you're so wealthy, bro. Like, why are you still doing these things, man? Why? You have no need to be doing this.
It's important to us.
So, so yeah, I guess maybe, I mean, unless you have a final thought, you want to just leave it at that and see what the community has to say, because this is Ti. Listen, love goes out to your family, but y'all got to get it together, bro.
Yeah.
King, you need some humility, bro. Like, I'm sorry, sit your ass down. You ain't standing on shit. You know what I mean? Like,
This is the last thing I'm gonna say. There
yeah,
was another video he put out. He was like, "You could put me any hood in this world, and I stand on business."
it's just words, just nonsense. I don't even think I think he's trying to convince himself. It sounds like he's trying to. The only one he's trying to convince is himself, bro. He's trying to make himself believe that shit.
I'm like, bro, like you're a whole snack out here in these streets. Like,
Yeah, he's well, yeah. All right, man. Well, listen. Let us know what y'all think. How do you feel about the situation? How do you feel about wealth and what it can do to you? This hood culture, this hood mentality, where does it come from? Do you see it? Are we tripping? Are we just making it up? Like, how do you feel about it? Let us know. How you feel about this clip in the Ti situation? Like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe,
yeah,
and we will get at y'all next time.
next time.